studio. This is the Almost Famous Radio podcast with your host, Jeffy McJefferson. Let's go.
And welcome to the Almost Famous Radio podcast. Jeffy McJefferson here. Thanks for listening. We got Rayette.
Hello.
Got the Ricker.
Hello.
Hey, we think we got our audio crap fixed, maybe. I don't know.
Momentarily.
We're going to find out. But
Take 47.
It looks better.
Yeah.
Let's, of course, go around the table, Rayette.
The usual Dutch Bros.
Man, of course.
Ninkasi. Total Dom.
Total Dom. That's one of the Ricker's favorites.
Yeah, I do like it.
It's good stuff,
good
though.
stuff, yeah.
I got Meows from Georgetown.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you don't get enough meowing, when the cat's
From
not
the kitty
here.
cat.
So, yeah.
That's right.
That little shit.
Yeah.
Okay, this actually is just impromptu and Rayette's idea. And what do you think about that, Rayette?
Well, Saturday afternoon, we're all sitting around doing nothing. Why not? We're going to sit around and bullshit anyway.
We got ribs on the smoker.
Right.
And all that good stuff.
Some of Rick's salad.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I'm making zero promises.
That stuff is...
I haven't had a bad one yet.
I'll let everybody know right now. That stuff, I look forward to every time we do this with Ricker because he brings this over. And what's in it?
It's just, artichoke hearts,
Winter.
olives, black olives, and tomatoes. It's
winter.
Just in a
Juice.
just with lemon juice, oregano, olive oil, and garlic.
I'll tell you right now, that's like one of my favorites.
Oh, and a little bit of soy sauce. Give it a little salt.
One of my favorite things that he brings is...
I would have not expected that in
I
there.
didn't expect that either.
I just
Maybe that's why it tastes different.
Pigeon.
Like, not like an Italian dressing or something like that. You know what I mean? It's that little bit of soy sauce or something.
it's kind of funny. My cousin and my father have been trying to figure out. My grandmother used to make something that she'd put because she loved to overcook everything. That's how they were taught. You don't let anything go wrong.
Well, let's background that.
Yeah.
Ricker's Italian/Sicilian/
Americano. But
anyway, go ahead.
she used to make this stuff that she'd overcook the piss out of freaking a steak, but she'd make this oregano, lemon, and I don't know. They know the name of it, and I don't. They're both Italians, so
Sure.
they know the name of it. I don't. But she'd freaking put the overdone chicken and the overdone steak in this, lemon concoction, and oh my gosh, man, it would save anything.
Really?
You could put shoe leather in that crap, and you would eat the shoe.
We need to make
No
Do you
problem.
think it's like the acidity or something
Yeah.
in it or something just kind of like revived it?
I couldn't tell you, but it made because she used to buy these T-bone steaks that were really thin.
Probably because they were cheap.
Because they were cheap.
Sure.
Exactly. It wasn't, so she'd make these really thin on the barbecue, and she'd cook the shit out of them. She'd cook the dog shit out of them, but she'd put it in as soon as it was done on the barbecue. It'd go straight in that, and oh my gosh, so good.
Something about them.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jeff does those burnt wings on purpose.
Yeah, well, I learned that from a friend of mine in Oklahoma.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Have you never had them?
No.
I need to make those for you.
Man,
Yeah, that sounds good.
So you put some, chicken wings in a marinade and put them on the grill, burn them on purpose.
Okay.
I thought he was crazy at first. I'm like, you're burning chicken?
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be rubbery and,
Right.
On the direct side of the heat.
On the direct side, so
Yeah.
you're not even
fucking around. Yeah. Okay. So
we ain't fucking around.
yeah.
There's full on torching these bastards, man.
We ain't fucking around, man. We put them on the direct side. And then once they burn, Then move them over to the indirect side for a while. Cover it and let it go for a minute.
Okay.
Well, not a minute, but just a while actually.
Right.
And kind of like I pile them up in a pyramid type thing.
Okay.
And after that's done, I'll put them. I put the marinade in like a pot. Okay.
Okay.
And that we did that with, and put them back in the marinade, and cover that, and they'll steam basically.
Okay.
And these things are freaking outstanding.
There's something about like the marinade that like revives those wings again or something. I don't know what it is, but they're fantastic.
This sounds like the same thing. If I had my phone with me, I would text my cousin and give you a name of that, but I don't know.
Let's make up a name for it.
Like the name of the sauce
stuff. Yeah.
Like just
because it's got a proper Italian name, but I don't know it. I don't. They grew up, both of them, my dad, both his parents were immigrants, and my cousin, his side was, my uncle who, my dad, my uncle, and then his other side, his mother, they came from the old country too. So, he grew up, both sets of grandparents, the same thing, feed the shit out of you,
Italians like to cook. Huh?
Yeah, a
and
lot
they
of
like
cooking.
To cook a lot.
The table, she had one of those cheap yellow Formica tables. You remember these?
Oh, yeah.
They had the freaking stainless steel rim around them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
My mom has
Her,
still
her mom
has one.
Oh, she has
Oh,
one.
man,
Yeah.
I love those. Anyway, she had a small kitchen dining room, and tiny, but there wasn't a square inch that didn't have a plate of something on it. That's how she cooked. It was like, we'll just have a quick meal. Just a quick one.
A quick meal is...
And does it always involve pasta?
No.
Because I feel like that's kind of a myth. I mean, yes, they cook a lot of like pasta dishes.
I wouldn't call it a myth, but I mean, it's...
I think it's a generalization.
Generalization. Maybe that's the word for it. Yeah. Because like you make your cutlets and like just stuff like that doesn't involve pasta.
And they're all thin. Right? Most of it's thin? Or am I wrong?
The cutlets?
Or anything like that to me, because you're...
Yeah, pretty much. Gosh, there was a lot of stuff that didn't involve pasta, really. Most of it, there was a lot of vegetables. She used to cut up, fennel, because I love fennel. That's something I should have put fennel in it.
Dude, the
fennel makes it really, and the fennel, there's enough sweetness to fennel. You cut it up, and it kind of works with the acidity, and it makes that better. I didn't even think about that.
That's in sausage too, right?
Yeah,
fennel.
Yeah, Italian sausage.
Yeah.
Or say back home, Italian sausage.
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah, that's like Detroit.
Yeah,
Italian sausage.
Now, okay, so this is like this started is basically in New York.
Yeah.
With you guys, that is.
Yeah.
Where they came over to New York.
Right. They came over in the 30s. My grandparents did. My grandfather he was born in like 1898. He was like 15 years older than my grandmother.
And they came over here.
Yeah, they came and they emigrated, started in Brooklyn, ended up in upstate New York. And then my grandfather worked at a General Electric plant in Syracuse, I believe, for a lot of years.
Interesting.
But then he died fairly young. We were all kids when he died. He died when he was probably fairly young, 67, 68, something like that.
That's fairly young.
Yeah, I would say that's young.
But he smoked like a chimney.
Ass off, though.
Yeah, he did. He was a merchant marine, and so he traveled all over the place before he got married.
Oh, okay.
So before they emigrated to the States, he was a merchant marine, and he traveled the world. I think he was a steward or something nominal. You know, they
How
just
interesting.
I'm not even familiar with merchant marines. Or what I don't even know what it is.
they're basically professional sailors that basically run merchant ships, like you know the big container ships, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
That's what they, you know, that's part of what they do. But they basically they ship on ships, so they run those ships, small crews, relatively. I mean, they can have huge ships with relatively small crews, I think. But he did it, you know, back in the teens and 20s and 30s, you know, a long time ago.
So you don't even think about that back then, like having ships that like bring stuff over and back and forth, you know?
Yeah. So then they moved upstate, right?
Yeah, they moved upstate. My dad was born. See, I think my uncle, who I told you he passed away, he I think was born in upstate, and then they moved down to Brooklyn for some reason. That's where my dad was born, and then they moved back to upstate. So I don't know what happened. I have no idea. And they didn't talk. See, that's the other thing. They didn't. Mike, you know, well, they were kind of quiet about. They didn't talk about shit. They didn't. You just had to glean a lot of crap, you know. There's never any big. I thought they were storytellers. As long as it's not about them.
Oh wow.
I don't know what to tell you. Now, see,
as long as it's not about them.
Well, they do hold grudges. I can tell you that, man. I think I've told you that.
But
And my dad we just had a conversation about this. My grandmother, she freaking is week in, week out. Oh, they're the best people on earth. Oh, I can't stand them. I never talk to them again. That's it. Well, what'd they do? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not talking to them. Okay.
So that stuff was back in the day. There was not much processed foods back then, right?
Yeah, there really wasn't. And when you know it, and
plus the eye ties didn't like that.
They didn't. And the other thing was they were poor. They were dirt poor.
Sure.
My dad, when they grew up, when they were growing up, they lived in a cold water flat. They didn't have running water. They didn't have an indoor toilet. None of that crap. And they lived in a town.
Right.
But, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah, they got their bath was a tub that got heated on the stove.
Well, my grandma, I mean, they lived here in Medford.
Right.
But they lived up off foothills, and they had an outhouse.
Sure.
Like, I can remember going up there and my cousins having to dig another hole and move the outhouse. And like,
and you think about it, it's like foothill. That's where the nice houses are now. Right. And it's like, 45 years ago, they had outhouses.
I remember when we'd come to visit, we'd stop at like a gas station or wherever before we went, and we'd all go to the bathroom. And then, because I was little, so
indoor plumbing,
right?
You know, and then when we'd leave, we'd all go somewhere else again, and then So I mean, a lot of, and they were poor, you know.
Yeah,
at one point, splinters were in their asses after that stuff, man. I mean, I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really don't wonder.
Well, Mom had 19 brothers and sisters, so I mean, the money doesn't go very far. They lived in tents at one point.
Did they really?
Yeah.
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 Well, they hunted to get food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and gardens and, you know.
Stuff like that. Yeah. Again, non-processed shit.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a deal out of processed stuff.
No, I'm just saying
it's
true.
Yeah.
It's true. You couldn't go in and get boxes of crackers and they made their bread. They made their,
butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was quite that way for my grandparents. I mean, it was close. but they, and they hunted. My dad told me a story about my grandfather. They used to go out on the lake that was right near their house, and they'd stun fish. They'd drop, a quarter stick of dynamite and freaking whack them. And,
Really?
yeah, scoop
They
them
really
up.
did that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yep. They used to hunt a lot of bird hunting, and I just got my grandfather's shotgun that he bought, and he got pissed
Take
because
your daddy's shotgun, cowboy.
Yeah, well,
Okay, sorry.
we're
gonna throw movie quotes.
Yeah,
in there.
movie
Just-
quote.
just get
You
ready.
know it.
movie
Okay.
quote Saturday. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, supposedly he missed a bird and got pissed and freaking whacked it on a tree and broke the stock. So it's got a carriage bolt in the stock. And it's nothing great, but back then it was a tool, and if the tool didn't work, well, you got pissed at the tool.
And then you
Yeah.
whacked it on a tree.
Hey, you whacked it on a tree.
Is there?
So
So did they like hunt deer and stuff up there too? I mean,
I
is
assume
that,
they did, but I think it was a lot of fishing and a lot of
They didn't tell him. They didn't talk.
yeah. I
about
don't
that
know.
But they would make a shit ton of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother had we loved her gardening. And what's funny is we go on to Google Earth and look at the house now, and it's like they took the fucking garden out. They took
it was
the
a big garden.
fucking garden out. Yeah, it was huge. Well, I shouldn't say. Your grass area
Yeah.
is probably about that size.
Well, that's a good sized garden.
good size.
It's pretty good when you're talking about, just a couple of people. So, and
Yeah.
and the soil there was really good. You could grow just about anything.
Sure.
And they also worked farms.
What do they do in
were
the wintertime, though, then? They can't
they
shit?
can. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The basement was full of stuff. They freaking made their own wine. They did all that. There were casks down in the cellar and a grape press and all that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember one
That's
time
cool.
going with my uncle and my grandfather, I think, to get grapes. I think we went down to Syracuse to buy grapes. I mean, we could grow some grapes. They had an arbor, but I think,
It was easier to just buy those.
I think at that
Yeah.
point, you just buy them. But yeah, they made their own wine, the whole 9 yards.
Did they put them in a bucket and step on them?
Nope. Press.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a press.
They didn't do the I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy. That's what I was
Yeah, I
thinking
know. I know.
Yeah.
I think my cousin's got some of that stuff. I think he's got the
grape press and everything.
I think he got the grape press. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
She
that's
died, she died 35 years ago almost.
Your grandma?
Yeah. My grandfather died 55 years ago, quite
Right.
a while ago. But, I got a,
Well, he'd be like 200 years old if he was.
he'd be 128, 29, something like that. He'd be old.
Dang.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
I would, I just got in touch with another cousin who was actually my grandmother's cousin. It's kind of strange because I think, if I'm not mistaken, my grandmother, her father had two families. He had one family in Rome, and then he had one family in Sicily. And
Like a sister wives type situation.
more like a hidden family. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I guess there's some cousins that live on the mainland, and some, the only
Still
ones that
over
we
there.
know. Yeah, the only ones we know are in Sicily.
Man,
But
I
there's
bet if you
another
did like a
family.
23andMe thing.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
Yeah. You might be proud owner of the Coliseum.
Oh, could be. Yeah, I'm sure that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right.
Should do it.
Yeah. That's But yeah, I mean, just kind of oddball stuff. I mean,
That'll must be fun to do one and then read the results on here.
yeah,
You should do that.
All of us.
I think
don't
you
have
should
anything.
do it first.
No, all of us.
I
We'd
don't
all
have
do
any.
one, and then we'd all just read the results here. And there may be nothing. There may be something really cool on there.
Did 23andMe, did
Well, you
they
have
go
to-
out of business
Oh,
or
I
something?
don't know, but one of those,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you have to do you have to give your DNA and shit?
yeah.
Yeah, pass.
Well,
What if
are
you
you
got to
worried
lose at this
about?
point?
I don't know. It just
Are you a
seems,
serial killer or something?
yeah. I don't want them to know.
Well, that's good.
They would
That's solid.
probably
That
quit-
is solid reasoning.
I could
right
kill.
there.
I could kill a box of freaking
Thin mints.
what?
Killed many a beer.
Kill many boxes of Captain Crunch and shit like
Right.
that. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to get
Yeah.
caught
Killed
on
many
that
a
one.
captains.
all that kind of shit. Yeah. Way back in the day. Yeah,
Well, that was it.
I could do it.
Going back to that, that's why there were two families. My great grandfather was a ship's captain. He was some kind of ship's captain, so
Oh.
he had two families. That's
Yeah.
how they worked.
I'm a little bit upset because you got some cool stories and I didn't. My dad didn't talk too much about where he was from and what they did and stuff like that. I wish I could have got some of that kind of stuff from him, but I don't even know who to talk to now.
All you know is like England, right? Like he was from England. Do you know where in
Yeah,
England?
right outside of Manchester.
Oh, okay.
And so,
Well, I can tell you've got a British accent, so I can see where that came from.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet you get mad about her saying crick. And crick is a West Coast thing. Sorry.
Crick isn't from England.
Well,
No, I'm not from
saying,
England.
Not saying
No,
it is. I'm just saying that
We were
you.
just talking about me and the English shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll go back to that. Let's
Nah.
go back to that.
Okay. But yeah,
Okay,
Crick.
so was he? But back to your dad. So
Yeah.
he came over to Canada when he was how old?
I'm thinking, his dad died when he was 13. And I don't know for sure, but I think that's when they went to Canada. And in
Oh,
Toronto.
after
And
he
it
passed
was after
away.
he passed away. Yeah.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and they went to Toronto.
Okay. That's
So
right
you're-
up the road from, my peeps.
Yeah.
So your grandpa never came over here then?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I know that he loved golf, and that was kind of cool because my dad came in. He immigrated here, and he joined the Air Force, and he got stationed at Tinker in Oklahoma City,
Right.
area
Right.
and stuff. So my grandma moved to Palo Alto. There was some,
Okay.
There's some, there was some, family there.
Okay.
I kind of think I have some family still in England. I'm not sure. I know that there was,
I'm
but
sure you do. I mean,
but I know that there were some, but I don't know because I never got the gist of it. I never heard a lot of stuff, because like I said, Dad didn't talk too much about it. Not like it's a bad thing, but he just didn't. I don't know, man. We didn't really ask him too much, so
well, and as kids and stuff,
I was worried about being a serial killer with Captain Crunch and shit.
Crunch.
Yeah.
well, and
But-
honestly though, like you're worried about playing football in the streets and this and that. You're not
Yeah. Right.
asking about your heritage and stuff. That's when you get older that you're like more interested in some of that stuff, and you can't ask him now.
No,
You
but
know, so I mean that kind of sucks.
Grandma was still alive, and she had a heavy British accent still. She would come once a year and stay a week with us. And the cool thing about it is, like, when we got kind of older and we started wanting to play golf and this, that, and the other, me and my brother, she actually bought us a starter golf set. And
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's, just a few irons and a putter and a driver and stuff like that. And because her husband loved to play golf or loved golf.
Right.
So that was
Kind of
cool.
her way of bringing some of him
Yeah,
to
maybe
you guys,
so.
you know,
Maybe so.
like
So,
she saw that connection.
yeah, she was.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool with that. But yeah, she was a hard ass. She was a short little shit, and she, only thing I remember, man, when she came over as a kid, that she always had to have bottled water or filtered water because she hated Altus water.
Oh, really?
Hated it. Yeah, she couldn't stand the water. So she got that, and then she always had to have like orange marmalade. I don't know if it's for toast or whatever,
Right.
and tea that they drank, she drank. And so like whenever grandma would make us, a peanut butter sandwich or something like that, it was like big deal when it was a big deal that she let us put orange marmalade on it.
Her orange marmalade.
Oh, really?
Orange marmalade.
Okay.
On it. Yeah. So,
Well, that is an English thing, though.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a very English thing. Tea and orange marmalade. Like,
Sure.
that is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like that. And
that's like us wanting bacon every day. That's what they want every day.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. The tea is a big deal.
Yeah.
yeah. And so that was her thing, man. I mean, we had to go. I didn't even know we had it there. I was a kid. I didn't go to the grocery store. Who gives a shit?
Your mom just probably made sure it was there before she came or
Probably.
whatever.
Yeah. And I'm,
Mother-in-law's coming. We got to go get tea and marmalade.
Yeah, right. And if we had, we always had like the grape jelly, that giant 32-ounce piece
Right.
of shit. I hate grape jelly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
And,
Too many sandwiches.
God. And,
Because we all grow up on that shit.
right. But, and it was never the,
It was a Western.
Welch's or
It was a
anything
Western
like
family
that.
brand
Right.
or something.
whatever
yeah.
your guys'
whatever
off-brand
it
was.
back then.
Store brand.
But hell, there was no off-brand of orange marmalade.
Nope.
Right.
So she got
Right.
the good stuff.
She got the good stuff.
Yeah.
I never heard mom or anybody bitch about, oh my God, this jelly is $4.79, which I don't even know what it was back then. But anyway, yeah, so she had to have that every time. And so,
Well, that was a special occasion. And like, it's, you wouldn't bitch about that if your mom came and, well, you might for a second, but,
probably.
but if she wanted something that was $4.79 a jar, you would get it for her because she doesn't come very often.
Yeah. Well, it would be
It's,
like $35.75 now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be $4.79. That's true.
So I would still buy it for, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. Like, yeah.
So, and I don't have any good stories about cooking, with having a badass thing like your grandma did, and mom and dad and everything like that.
Your mom made some pretty good sandwiches, I heard.
Where'd you hear that?
From you. From you.
Excuse me?
I love my mom, but she was not a cook. And we went over this before on here, but yeah, she was not a cook at all. She would put shit in the broiler of the oven. And remember, we had gas ovens back then,
Right.
which I still love to this day.
Yeah.
I wish we had one, but yeah. And
Petrified steak.
yeah.
You need that sauce.
I need that. Well, I didn't have the sauce. We had like,
Here's your steak. It's
we
done.
had like we had like Heinz 57 because dad liked it for some reason. So we would like
Douse it in
load
that.
it,
Yeah.
load it down with Heinz 57. And you have to have a Sawzall to cut this son of a bitch. But yeah.
And it was never, you're never eating. I remember back then, you never eat, good steak. It was always like round or whatever. And if you, overcook
Whatever was
it,
cheap,
it's,
yeah.
I
We
can
didn't
promise
eat
you,
ribeyes.
I
or
can promise
whatever.
you it wasn't ribeye.
Yeah, I
we didn't eat
guarantee
ribeye
that.
either.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I don't even know what it was.
Probably round
Well,
steak.
it was probably chuck with that because it always
Yeah.
had that little round bone in it.
Yeah.
It was like a chuck steak and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, And I got to hand it to Dad, man, because he didn't even bitch about it and stuff like that. But
My mom would get round steak and then like beat it with the little meat cleaver thing or whatever.
The hammer.
The hammer
Yeah,
to like
the tenderizer.
tenderize it and
Yeah.
then cook it or whatever. And I
Mine
don't-
didn't. No. Yeah.
Is this looking leathery enough?
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's
I'm
your
going to have to
steak
get
and
a
your
different one.
sawzall.
Right.
Instead of a knife, you have a sawzall.
Steak's done, boys. You want to go play Frisbee?
Don't hit the neighbor's window.
Yeah. Do not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or ours. If I did that, man. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But yeah. What about yours, Red?
Well, all my family's from here.
Well, I got that.
I mean, there is rumor that my great grandma was related to Pancho Villa.
That's kind of cool.
Her middle name is Villa as well.
Okay.
They named, this is the rumor. And it's, I mean, I've known this since like I was little. Like they've talked about this, that somehow she was related to Pancho Villa. I don't know how or anything, but Spanish descent, St. Arnold, my mom's side of the family. So lots of Spanish descent there.
Okay.
But they're all from here as far as I know. I mean, as far back as I can.
But they didn't make any bitchin' Spanish food.
Not that I remember. No, no, definitely no.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got ripped off.
yeah, I can remember going like to my grandma's to eat and stuff, and there was nothing. I mean, nothing.
Just American food.
Yeah, just
Good
normal food.
old-fashioned Merkin.
Yeah, I don't have any cool stories like.
I don't have cool stories like
No,
Rickard.
but like, I mean, maybe way back I have family that came over from somewhere, but I don't know of any of that. Like,
Yeah.
and my great grandma is the oldest one that I knew, like in the family, and she passed away when I was probably like 10.
Oh.
So
I don't think I know that my grandma never cooked whenever she visited. So I don't even know like I said, I was a dumbass. I mean, apparently, because I should have asked if, what they had and what they made and all that kind of jazz, but I never did. Like I said, like you said, man, we were worried about playing.
yeah,
Right.
I didn't.
Yeah. Weren't in the house to ask a question.
That's right.
Well, and both, like my grandparents all died pretty young. I was 7 when my dad's dad died. And then my mom's dad died in 89. And my mom's mom died shortly after that, like 90, maybe 91. So, I mean, I was still young, 21.
Yeah.
Right.
You just didn't ask about it at that point. Like,
No.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess.
Not really. I mean, most of the stuff that I learned was after the fact. I didn't learn diddly squat from my grandparents. My grandfather died when I was young, and he didn't speak much
because
English.
if they sat down with you when you're a young teen or so and wanted to talk to you about that, you'd be like, oh,
Right.
do I have to?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Why do we
not
have to do
realizing that
this?
you would want to know that stuff later.
And
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, on my mom's side, my grandparents on my mom's side were like pieces of crap, basically.
Oh, really?
So I did learn that.
The one thing you learned was the one thing you didn't really want to know.
I learned that at least. So at least I got that going for me. Yeah. I mean, they would they would tell stories about like whenever my grandpa got, I guess they were fierce alcoholics.
Oh, really?
And he would like throw pitchforks and shit at the kids. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he probably could have been an Olympic javelin thrower if he did that kind of shit. But apparently that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Wow.
on my mom's side, it was a pretty jacked up family. So
And that's the only thing not the good side of the family, the bad side of the family you know too much about.
well, it was we had a couple of aunts and uncles that were kind of cool, but they had a lot. She had 16.
Oh, really?
Brothers and sisters, and I didn't know all of them, but yeah, but we had some good time. There were some cool ones out of it. You had to pull. The odds were good. The odds were there to be that there was going
At
to be
least 50-50.
a couple of
Right.
a couple
Yeah.
of
Out of
cool-
16, there's got to be a
There's
few
gotta
that
be
are
a
going to be
few,
somebody who's
right?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then plus some of the aunts married like cool as shit uncles.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Married
that's-
into
that's
decent
where
families.
it really happened. Yeah. And stuff. And that's basically, that's it for that. I mean, did some family reunions, but it was like not too many of them. But family reunions was like just a cool aunt and uncles and stuff like that. And then we would go to the lake and things like that. And my Uncle John and Elsa were pretty cool, man. They had a Winnebago. They had a boat. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah. And I learned how to ski.
Right.
And stuff like that with, my Uncle John. And he was really cool. He was like an ultimate cool. Luckily, Ray got to meet him.
Yeah.
Oh, really? He's since passed?
Yeah, he's since passed. But yeah.
The funny thing is Jeff just looks exactly like him.
No way.
Except he's not blood related to him.
No.
Only by marriage.
But you two look
He's
alike.
blood related to the aunt.
Right. But not the uncle. And,
remind me to show you a picture because it is uncanny.
Okay.
It is crazy.
Yeah, we went. He took us fishing and shit like that, but we mostly wanted to ski. And
oh, sure.
And because it was once you learn, and then that's all you want to do.
Right.
Is water ski.
Right.
I've never done that.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, and he's he was kind of the uncle.
Yeah.
The
cool uncle.
That like
cool one,
that like if he thinks you're on the ski too long, then he's going to make sure to throw your ass off.
Right.
And like I had a phobia because we had at the lake back home, there was a dam, and it was a real dam with gates and all that kind of shit. And I was like always fearful of like going, being in the water next to a dam or whatever.
Right.
Flung me right off there close to the dam and shit like that.
Oh, really?
Ski went flying up in the air. And I went, because, his rule was, hey, man, if you fall, ski, you'll get to ski, and then they'll pick you up. I was like, nope. I was like swimming out into the middle of the lake.
Right, because you didn't want to be anywhere
I didn't want to be near
dam.
the dam.
Yeah.
And so he was like, hey, go get the ski. I'm like, nope. You go get the ski.
Yeah.
I don't need it right now.
Right.
You flung me off by the freaking dam there, asshole.
I assume he was having fun with it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we played golf with him a few times and stuff like that, man. He was an ultimate cool guy.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah, I miss Uncle John, man, because he was cool as shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I only got to meet him one time, but it was.
But you got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. He actually came to our house in Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Him and Aunt Elsa, yeah. And when Mom was there. And
Now, did they live in Oklahoma still?
they lived in Kansas. Yeah.
Oh, they lived in Kansas?
Yeah, they lived in Kansas. They lived in Wichita, and then they moved. God, I forgot where it was. Anyway, but they came up and they made a trip out to the house, and
Okay.
they smoked some pulled pork or something. I think.
Something. I don't remember what, but we
made
some food for
we
him
made some
and
food.
stuff.
And we had a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was a good visit.
yeah, he was ultimate cool uncle, man. He was the cool uncle. Like everybody has cool uncles, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
Most people then.
I can't say I don't. I just don't.
Well, then don't say it, Rickard.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for reminding me of
Yeah.
that little rule.
Yeah.
If you say you can't say it, don't say
Yeah,
it.
don't. Yeah. Red, her uncles. Yeah, she has some cool uncles.
Yeah. I wish I have stayed closer to some of them. Just lives get busy and everything, and it kind of sucks. But
You met some of them too. They came here
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff like
for-
that.
my Uncle
Mary's.
Donnie and Sonny and Uncle Dave and
Norm.
Norm.
Yeah.
Norm
Yeah.
was here.
Norm was here. Yeah.
Norm.
We did that little
Yep.
podcast
Yeah.
for your
Yeah,
mom.
those are probably some of my.
Yeah. And he's
top
an
ones of-
ultimate cool guy. And Donnie's pretty cool. I mean, and Sonny, they're good people.
See, I only had 3 uncles. So, chances of getting a cool one is kind of,
Little slimmer.
But, I mean,
yeah. Actually, they were all good people. 2 of them are gone and one of them's still alive. And he's kind of a old hippie. He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's just, he looks at me and, shakes his head because you're a Republican. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you, man. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And I did have an uncle that I was I did like. He rode cycles, and he was a really nice guy. But he passed away. And then my dad's brother, he was difficult.
Yeah.
Super smart, super freaking good he was a machinist. He was freaking, he was just really good at whatever he did.
Yeah.
He did it high end. He's just that type of guy. Everything he did well, and he could do anything. But he was difficult.
I think it's sometimes like just depends on who you're closer to. Also, like my dad and his brothers were really close, so of course we hung out around them a lot. Yep. And so I didn't always hang out around a lot of my mom's side,
Right.
So I mean, there's a couple I barely even know, you know. So it's hard to say, oh, those are really cool, but I just don't know them.
Yeah, but you have a large family.
Yeah.
Your family's pretty monstrously large.
I think I have 76 first cousins.
Yeah, I've got like 12, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I mean, you're probably up there around where I'm at, just knowing.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. Now, I did have another ultimate cool uncle. His name was Uncle Stanley, and he married my mom's sister, and we would go up and visit them all the time. And he was an Indian, and but he was cool, man. He was one of those dudes, man. That's he even like gave us sips of Colt 45 when we were kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on. They had the home movies.
Yeah.
Right. They had the home movies, and they pull up the screen and
Yep.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then he would like, hey, you ever had an Indian sunburn? No. And he would like take our wrist and he would go back and forth on our wrist, and we're like, Uncle Stanley, man, we couldn't break the hold, man, because he was strong.
Right.
But that wasn't the only thing. But he was really cool, man. He actually was one of them that like got the reunion thing together for the small reunions and stuff. He's the one that put that together for everybody. He liked to go out to the lake, and he had one of the pickups with a camper on it.
Okay.
Had the camper in the bed type thing. Yeah. Yep. And so, but that was kind of cool. We always did tents and stuff like that, but that's the only kind of camping I ever did. I will not camp here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to camp here in
bears
and cougars.
So we camped all the time. Jeff and I had this conversation not too long ago. I camped all the time.
Right.
Never once did it cross my mind that there was bears and cougars there. Never once.
That's kind of strange.
And that's all through like Lake of the Woods, Hyatt Lake, like
places where you see them now all the time.
Bears and cougars.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I never even thought about it back then.
Yeah.
It was just, let's go camping. Okay.
Yeah.
We were just worried about bugs. Oh, there it goes. We're back.
What was it?
I don't know. I think we have an internet issue.
Oh, really? Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But no thanks, man. I'm not going to mess with the camping here.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm too old to camp anymore anyway.
I'll get a hotel.
I'd much rather sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Same. We'll just get a hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to buy a 30-foot fucking travel trailer
To use 3 times a year or something.
That's...
or whatever. Yeah. I ain't going to mess with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 20 years ago, if we were together then, I could see us maybe getting a travel trailer and doing something like that.
Not me.
You wanted one.
I did until I realized what's up.
And what's that?
Bears.
Please.
Bears and cougars.
If you're in a trailer, you're probably okay.
Bears are pretty strong.
I know they are. So are guns.
We'll be
Real
staying in a
strong.
hotel. That's all that there is to it.
I get it. I get it.
I'm okay
you're not
with
gonna,
that.
and you're not going to change him. So
I'm okay with that.
roll with it.
No. So, man, I got to get to those ribs.
Okay.
Let's check them.
Let's check them and wreck them.
Okay. Do it too.
It's been fun.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
For an impromptu thing that we didn't know what the hell
it's
we were going to talk about.
Pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Actually, if you want to know the honest to God truth, we wasn't even going to talk about this.
I know that's
No,
the best
this
part.
was a whole
It just
different
kinda
subject,
just-
and it worked out great.
It
So
worked out good.
thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah. That was
Awesome.
that was great. Thanks, Ricker.
Oh,
Thanks for
absolutely.
everybody. Thank you all the time. Listen to us on all your platforms and all that good stuff, and we're out.